Joining us right now, Houston City Councilman Jerry Davis and John Caldara, president of the Independence Institute. Councilman Davis, thanks for joining us here. I know we've had some trouble hooking up with you. Glad to have you on today. And Mr. Caldara, it is great to have you as well. Let me start with you, Councilman Davis. You wore a hoodie last week to a council meeting. I'm not sure exactly the reason why you did that here in Houston. I'm sure you can explain it to me. Listen, the hoodie comment was made by Geraldo Rivera, who's a goofball. Can't we just let this thing go?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me. A lot of my sponsors and backers for this campaign actually called me and told me I need to give you a call because they heard you asking for me to give you a call. So I'm doing that this morning. I don't think we can. My reasoning, as I gave in council that same day, for me wearing it for an awareness. It's not necessarily solely about the issue in Florida. It's about an issue that happened to me 21 years ago here in Houston, and 2 years ago, my cousin Robbie Tobin happened in Bel Air. My purpose is the awareness. I'm just asking for thorough investigations to be done throughout the cases, not for the DA or for the police officers to be the judge and the jury. All right, we have a political process that I would like for everything to go through.
Let me ask Mr. Caldara, John, don't you think there's awareness? I'm pretty much thinking I can't turn anywhere without hearing the story of Trayvon Martin.
You're right, and that level of awareness is heightened, because I think that people throughout the nation, and it's not just blacks, not just minorities, it's an issue where we're having people to just think about things and think about our laws and think about our judicial process and make sure that it's up to par. So to a certain extent, to a certain degree, it is working because it's allowing everybody to think about what's going on and what's taking place in our country.
John, did you want to weigh in quickly?
Yeah, I would. So we have a nation built on law, not a nation built on men. And that's why to see mob rule or to see some sort of vigilante justice is always troubling to me, no matter what the circumstances. Over the weekend, when I saw all the rallies and calls for an arrest for someone without having the facts first, what we're doing is we're politicizing a case. And this sadly, I don't think is about this one case. I think all the hoopla around it has to do with politics, and I think it's amplified during a year where we're going to have one of the most interesting political races and presidential races in history.
All right, gentlemen, hang on for me. We'll come back with a second segment here. I want to talk about something interesting that happened to my wife the other day, where a hoodie is concerned. All right, we're talking about hoodies and everybody getting all upset with the hoodie thing because Geraldo Rivera made some stupid, idiotic comment, which he's prone to do daily. My wife goes into a supermarket shopping center. It's raining. She's wearing a hoodie. She puts the hood up, walking through the parking lot, and somebody gives her an eyeball. Lois does the same thing the other day. These are true stories. She puts the hood up because it's raining. Somebody looks at Lois and says, "Seriously?" So this is where we are right now, Mr. Davis. Now you can't wear a hoodie.
Well, and unfortunately, me being an ex-athlete, I wear my hoodie I wear it all the time after I finish working out, and it's just something I do. And I'm sorry it's come to the point where it's a hoodie, but before the hoodie, it was a hat to the back. Before the hat to the back, something else. But it's a point that it's racial profiling. It's a bunch of things coming together.
No. My wife was not racially profiled at all. It was all the people like yourself and Bobby Rush and others that have worn the hoodie. Now nobody can wear a hoodie.
Well, no. I was always given that look prior to the big mass hysteria around the country about wearing a hoodie. There's always a look that I've been given. I understand right now that, your wife was looked at in a different manner. I don't know what that person was thinking when they saw your wife wearing a hoodie, but
So it can happen to anybody. John, let me ask you this: it can happen to anybody. Here's the point I'm trying to make. We're talking about profiling. I don't think it's got anything to do with profiling. This can happen to anybody, don't you think? We're making a mountain out of a molehill.
This has turned into a wonderful visualization of of a political cause. And if there's any group that's really worried, I would imagine it's the designers at the Gap who need to now rethink their entire line because their sweatshirts are now political statements. I give the folks who are doing this as a political movement a lot of credit. They have now figured out a visual way to make a political statement. What I'm concerned about is simply do justice in law. We don't know what happened in Florida, and to politicize this one case shows just the power of turning a story into a political football, and we all need to step back and let the law do its work without a mob behind it.
And I hope that happens, and I know that, Councilman Davis, you hope the same thing. You're a good, level-headed guy. Mr. Caldara, I know that you hope the same thing. I hope it all happens before somebody gets injured that shouldn't be. And I want to thank you both for coming on here this morning. I certainly do appreciate it.